In this video, we will talk about the spinal cord and brain, as we have discussed that development of the central nervous system. From neurulation, the central nervous system continues to develop as the cranial end of the neural tube dilates and folds to form spaces that will become the brain. The remainder of the neural tube, caudal to the first four somite, will become the spinal cord. Neural crest cells have different destination that has been discussed. Let's start with spinal cord. The caudal end of the neural tube continues to elongate and form the spinal cord. A lumen through the center of the spinal cord, called as the neurocole. This neurocole forms by week 9 and will become the central canal. Neurocole is lined with thickening layers of neuroepithelia, known as the ventricular zone. Then there is proliferation of neuroepithelial cells. Neuroblasts become neurons and migrate out to form the mantle or intermediate layer of cell bodies, which will form the gray matter. Surrounding this layer is the outer marginal layer that carries the axons from the neurons in the mantle layer and will become white matter. Now, this is dorsal surface or posterior surface, and this is ventral or anterior surface. Further distinction of the mantle layer occurs as the ventral area becomes the basal plates and the dorsal part becomes the alar plates. They are divided by a groove called as the sulcus limitans. This is roof plate. This is floor plate. So, where is the marginal layer? So, this is the marginal layer. These are afferent fibers from dorsal root ganglion, and these are afferent fibers from ventral root ganglion. Now, alar plates forming dorsal horn, and basal plates forming the ventral horn. Now, let's label the remaining parts. This is white matter. This is gray matter. These are spinal nerve, and this is dorsal root ganglion. Now, let me tell you an interesting fact. Do you think spinal cord and vertebrae are of same length in fetus and adulthood? The answer is no. The spinal cord and the vertebral column are the same length in the fetus. Orange line is showing spinal cord. Green line is showing vertebrae. But by adulthood, the spinal cord only reaches as far as the L1 or L2 vertebrae. And what about the length of the spinal cord and the vertebral column in newborn? Well, spinal cord extends to the level of the L3 in newborn, as we have discussed that. Now, let's have an overview of development of the central nervous system. Moving forward, from neurulation, the central nervous system continues to develop as the cranial end of the neural tube dilates and folds to form spaces that will become the brain. The remainder of the neural tube, caudal to the first four somite, will become the spinal cord. Neural crest cells have different destinations that have been discussed. Now let's understand the development of the brain. 3 vesicles develop in the cranial end of the neural tube. At day 28, the vesicles are the prosencephalon that become forebrain, mesencephalon that becomes midbrain, and rhombencephalon that becomes hindbrain. Now, in the 5th week, the 3 vesicles become 5. Let's understand it. Prosencephalon split into 2. Telecephalon and diencephalon. Telecephalon will become cerebrum. Diencephalon will becomes thalamus and hypothalamus. And this is mesencephalon. It remains same. Mesencephalon. That becomes midbrain. Rhombencephalon, split into two. Metencephalon. And the myelencephalon. This metencephalon becomes the pons. Myelencephalon becomes the medulla, while this is spinal cord. So, this was all about the development of central nervous system. Stay tuned to sqadia.com for more precise and knowledge-stuffed videos.
Empower your future with sqadia.com. Your journey to medical mastery starts here. Delve into a world where learning has no boundaries. Engage with our comprehensive online courses, designed to enhance your understanding and refine your skills. You control your education. Learn anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. Transform complex medical concepts into engaging, understandable modules. Experience learning that is as effective as it is enjoyable. Realize your potential, reach new heights, and be ready to take on the challenges of the medical field. This is not just about education. It's about preparing you for a successful career in medicine. sqadia.com. Transforming medical education. Shaping your future.